I started D&D at a local tabletop role-playing game store and played with a variety of different groups and DMs. The Dungeon Master who was important to the story was clearly new to D&D. I learned rules rather quickly and was overly excited to play at all and help out. I would often jump in to remind him about a ruling, help a player or DM with the mechanics, etc. Not my proudest moments, it was all very nerdy, but thankfully I worked out how to be less intrusive, at least eventually. But the DM noted my seeming proficiency with the rules and concluded that I should be the Dungeon Master. I had no desire to be the Dungeon Master at all at that moment. I was still fairly new and didn't feel ready whatsoever. I told him so, but it didn't seem to deter him. He would just keep insisting in text messages and in person that we should switch, that I should DM for him, or at least we should co-DM, switching every other chapter or every other session. He says he's tired of D&D and doesn't want to run it. For context, we played only a handful of sessions in this campaign, and the game was paid? Wait. Oh my god. This is a lot of work. I think I was over my head with this whole paid D&D thing. Dude, it's all good. D&D, DMing, it's a lot of work. If you want to take a break or take a step back, we don't have to quit. You know, you could do all of it. Wait. Whoa, what? I don't know much about running a game. No, it's a great idea. You know, you could do all of the work for me, and I could lay back and let you do all the work. I mean, it's a really equal relationship. Okay, well, I mean, I guess at least I'd get paid for... Oh, no, I mean, you wouldn't get paid. So you would take all the credit, get all the money, pretend like you're some kind of genius off of the back of my work. I mean, the work itself is rewarding. Oh my god, you're Elon Musk. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Now, this was a cheap game, to be fair, compared to the other DMs in the shop, and included the price to enter the gaming area. He would keep telling to other people that I should run this game. His DMing heart was set on moi. One day, he messaged me with the most egregious attempt yet. He told a group of his players that I agreed to do everything, and now I'm going to be the DM. He's arranged everything, I'll have to prepare everything, and there's nothing I can do because of the social pressure. Truly, I was shocked because of the audacity. I refused again, leaving him to explain it to everyone. I think there was a couple of attempts after that, and we eventually stopped playing together as the game died out. You know, I did the whole skit on this, but seriously, there's nothing in here about you getting paid for this? I mean, he was getting paid for it, what the hell? I know I probably shouldn't be worrying about the money, but like, come on, man. Probably not the worst experience ever, but this really set me up for failure and really made me want to avoid playing D&D for a long time. I am very shy, but I love the idea of playing. I've tried to join games that my close friends were in, but always chickened out. The difference here is that I only tried games that were over Discord. In person, I tend to have a better time masking the shyness and getting through it. Interesting. I find that in person I'm usually more nervous. Does anyone else feel less comfortable online? I've never heard of that before. So when my cousins told me that they were part of a campaign that they wanted me to join, I was actually really excited. They were aware I was very much a beginner, and they comforted me at the time. The main characters in the story were as follows: my cousin, who was playing a Dragonborn Druid, myself, who was playing a Wood Elven Rogue, that says wizard. Wait, what the fuck? The Dungeon Master, and my cousin's partner at the time, whose character I honestly just can't really remember. Now, my cousin has this backstory that her main mission is to reunite with her best friend. They got separated after their village was burned by the main antagonist. This is about all I know because this all lasted only a single session. My first grievance is that this was my first ever game, and I really didn't have an opportunity for a session 0 or a way to gently introduce myself to the game. This does become a problem later on, despite the fact that I walked in with this knowledge. The DM, despite knowing I was a total beginner, was agitated about it. About an hour into the game, he asked me to roleplay as my cousin's best friend. Now, we automatically assume that this would be a tearful reunion, but he pulls me aside and tells me that I need to try and kill her. Hey, Jackie, dude, it's good to see you again. Hey, dude, oh my god, it's been so long. It's just great to see my best friend again. Yeah, it's been Hey, new guy, need to talk to you. Oh, yeah, sure, what's up? I need you to do something for me. Okay, what do you need to tell me? I need you to kill your best friend. Wait, what? Shh, what? For the sake of drama. Drama? There's like
so much drama we could talk about. We don't need to kill my best friend.
Okay, so you don't want to kill your best friend?
No! I just got here. I'm trying to make a good impression. Why would I kill someone, let alone him?
Okay, cool. Well,
I guess I'll do it. Wait, hold on. Wait, no.
Hey,
okay.
Jackie!
Oh, what? Oh, gee. Okay, hey, that's it. Okay.
I'm already confused because A, I have not even had the opportunity to roleplay my own character at this point, and B, I know nothing about this brand new NPC character or how their relationship worked, and C, this was supposed to be her main quest, yet I was the one in control of her best friend in my first ever game. It just seemed off. I politely tell him I'm a bit too nervous to do it. Cue the agitation. He does it though, and my cousin asks him if there's any way she can knock her best friend out rather than fighting her to the death. And he says no. If she did not kill her, she would kill her character. Irritated, she does it. Her best friend is now dead. Yet we move on like nothing happened? Ah, I see. This man learned from the writing school of Roberto Aguirre Sacasa. Am I the only one who hates this guy? He wrote Riverdale. Ah, see? That's what I thought. But seriously, give characters time to react. That's a big problem in Roberto's writing, and a big problem in this DM's game. It was also at this point that renters from Airbnb that rented a room from him arrived. I can't tell if it saved the awkward tension or just made it worse. Our DM was also drinking, and would get up once every 20 minutes to smoke some weed too. And the longer the session went on, the more cross-high got to him. He was forgetting a lot of things, would zone out in silence for minutes at a time. The worst part is his etiquette though. He was a nice guy, and I'm sure that if he was sober, maybe he wouldn't do this. However, shortly after the interaction with my cousin's character and her best friend, he excused himself to go to the bathroom. We were playing in his living room, but the room was adjacent to the kitchen and the bathroom, all within view. This man walks into the bathroom, leaves the door open, and starts going to the bathroom. I'm sitting there, wondering if I was just going crazy. Like, there was no way that the guy would piss with the door open. Seriously! Do you see? Do you hear? Can you tell how evil this is? Seriously.
Close the door, you fucking animals!
In view with multiple people he barely knew just in his house. Honestly, I don't remember anything other than that. It definitely made me feel like I couldn't play the game. That maybe I just wasn't good at role-playing and that I didn't want to deal with a weirdo DM. I still have yet to actually find a game that's not stuck in planning limbo. Lesson learned, session 0 is necessary. Ah, I almost forgot. Oh, come on, I just got out of the respawn check. Have a session 0. If you don't, a crispy dies. But in any case, the Dungeon Master is obviously the one at fault here. And do not underestimate the weirdness of pissing with the door open, okay? Don't do that. It's weird. Look, a lot of people play D&D with strangers, and as we see in many stories, the way you act in the game is not all that matters. If people are put off from you outside the game, it's gonna ruin the game itself. In addition to that, DMing for brand new people requires some skill. You need to cater to new players to a degree. You need to go out of your way to help them, you know? To make sure that they enjoy the game and understand it. Giving them more responsibilities than they need is not helping, especially if you're going to toss them into an intense betrayal scene first time. It's just not easy for them to do, man. I've been trying to get back into running campaigns recently, but it's getting really repetitive. Same stuff over and over. I want new mechanics. I want something different. But thankfully, I found Moonsoon. This week's videos are sponsored by ArcaneMinis and their new Kickstarter, Moonsoon. A 600-page setting guide filled with swashbuckling adventures for your Dungeons & Dragons group. In this world, the celestial entities that hang above your head are quite important, showcased in the new mechanic known as the Moon Deck, allowing your whole party to really feel the power that these gods have on the world around you. I love it when settings actually do something new and interesting with the mechanics of the game, not just the roleplay, and Moonsoon does that to a T. Not only are there incredible in-game items for you to claim, but there are also awesome treasures for you to get in real life, including these awesome STLs that allow you to bring your adventure to life. All of this is just contained in such a unique and beautiful setting, all wonderfully illustrated. If you run a game, this is a no-brainer pickup. If you guys are interested, you could head down into the description down below or to the pinned comment so you can pick up Moonsoon on Kickstarter. Thank you so much to the incredible team behind Moonsoon for sponsoring today's video. As always, supporting our sponsors does support us. Without further ado, I'm going to turn back into an animated rat so that we can get back to the video. Hello! I've been watching your videos for a while now and thought it might be interesting to send you something of my own. My, technically, second session just ended. I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to feel about it. While most of this is about how crappy the Dungeon Master was, I'm curious as to if I messed up. A little bit of context. The Dungeon Master is running Descent into Avernus, which I've never played before. Now, the first session. The party had already been involved in some sessions beforehand, so they were in a crypt. The session began in the aftermath of a fight, so the party took some time to look around for secret rooms. They rolled decently, but the DM told them they found nothing, and there was no secret rooms. He then pushed them into the center chamber where there was a puzzle. The rest of the session was spent there, with the party desperately trying to figure out what's going on with this puzzle. At one point, which I believe was the moment they guessed the correct answer, the DM became irritated with the party and started calling them idiots and just making fun of them for not knowing what to do. After 3 hours, the session ended when the Dungeon Master was so upset, he left the call. In between sessions, he continued prying the party to figure it out and even gave what he called hints, which just amounted to him telling them they were stupid because the solution was up. Can you imagine this in like an escape room? Like, hey, we need a hint. We don't know how to do this water puzzle.
Oh, well, it's obvious, you stupid, idiot, dumb.
I don't think that place would get great reviews, man. Just saying. Okay, second session. A couple hours before this session, the Dungeon Master finally told the party that had actually gotten the answer right and told them they actually had found the secret rooms. He even gave an image of the map with the rooms marked. As soon as the session starts, he skips over the party getting the puzzle right. And when one of the party members goes for one of the secret rooms, he then has them take 10 necrotic damage for metagaming? After he deleted the map that he had sent and decided they still needed to look for the rooms. He only allowed the 2 other party members to roll, and they were again told, there are no secret rooms. Then my character fell from the ceiling. Dude, what is happening?
As you guys reach this new country, I figured I would give you a map. Okay, cool, sweet. Let's take a look at... What are you doing? I'm analyzing the map. You pigs! Okay, dude, what? You metagaming fools. You violate the sanctity of the game. You violate the sanctity of my common sense. Bro, you gave us this map. It's not metagaming if it's stuff that you gave us to you. Oh, crap. Wait, no. Come here. I didn't even look at the map. Come on. Wait, no. Hey, I'm here to join the... Hello. Would you like to join our D&D group?
I did not get an introduction or any time for any sort of roleplay, as the DM immediately had a death knight, a friggin' death knight, come down the stairs and attack us. It happened really quickly, and I probably would have been just disorientated if I wasn't taking notes. Before making us roll initiative, the DM straight up told us he buffed the death knight because he thought it was too weak. I roll high enough to go third, but was told that because I'm a goblin, I have to go last now. 2 turns in, one of the party members managed to banish it, and we leave the crypt. Once outside, I finally am able to introduce my character some. I tell the party my name, and that I'm willing to work with them, but that they're going to have to work with me in return. My character is an urchin who doesn't like to owe things, and doesn't like it when others owe him. So he only works with people who are willing to understand that. I was immediately threatened, and while I was trying to find a response, the player that threatened me laughed out loud, out of character, and said, "I can hear the gears turning. Now you know you can't get away with acting like that." Oh, great. So the party sucks too. Awesome! I was ignored for the rest of the session. It ended about an hour ago for me writing this. To be honest, I'm wondering if maybe that last bit was my fault. I've never played with these people before, so maybe playing a character that doesn't trust others and is blunt about it may not have been the way to go. My emotional maturity is lacking, so maybe I'm missing something? Any thoughts or advice? That would all be greatly appreciated. Okay, now to be frank, I don't know what you said, and that last description sounds like it could potentially be a problem, but your initial description, frankly, does not sound like that big of a deal to me. And on top of that, even if the character was a little bit too abrasive, there are better ways to go about it. It feels like that person's comment was more of a dig at you. Like, make sure the new guy knows he can't act like that. That's just gross. It's almost like that player was trying to reclaim power from the DM because they were frustrated with what happened. Reasonably so. I know that last bit was jumping into the what is true dimension a little bit, but this next bit is guaranteed. This DM sucks. My god, this session sounds like a freaking mess. Just random rulings that come out of nowhere that are needlessly hostile, telling the party information, then getting mad at them for quote-unquote metagaming, refusing to reward them when they get things right. It is horrible. This DM is garbage at their job. Not the worst we've seen ever, but certainly some of the worst DMing at the very least. And they don't even seem to be amateur. They just seem dumb. I've been enjoying your videos as background sound while drawing for quite a while now, and realized I probably have some stories that might fit your content. I picked up Dungeons & Dragons during COVID, and initially thought I disliked it, but it turns out I dislike virtual campaigns. Though I've been in a handful of campaigns, I don't think I've found a DM I fully vibe with yet. I thought I'd document my most memorable experiences here, if anything, just to get them off my chest. Okay, my first DM. Her campaign was good, and she was a very expressive and entertaining storyteller. It was how she was outside the game that really convinced me how incompatible we were as people. Here's a non-comprehensive list of DM1's actions that led me to refuse any non-necessary interactions from her. So she got our first D&D server deleted because she fell for an obvious Discord. No! You know, when people think of horrifying Dungeons & Dragons monsters, they think of liches, red dragons, the Tarrasque. But they all pale in comparison to hot babes in your area. Wanna get with you now. I would ask if the ALOs are okay, but honestly, when they fall for things like this, I just think they have a skill issue. It flooded the channels with NSFW stuff and pings, so we just deleted and restarted the server rather than having to manage everything. As a fellow asexual, I was also unimpressed, to say the least. Her rampant horniness also remained an issue for me. It really made a lot of discussions with her just unpleasant and unrelatable. She was also a vehement defender of AI art, which really grinds my gears as an artist. Seriously, just browsing D&D art has been ruined. Like, Elven Portrait. Oh, that one looks good. Cool. Nice. Whoa! What is that ear on the left? What is going on? On my recommendation, follow artists directly. If I want to look at pretty art, that's how I do it nowadays. She admitted to doing some really extremely heinous things in the past that I won't go into detail, but she was extremely apologetic about it, told to us in good faith, and I'd like to protect her victim as much as I can. Regardless of how sorry she is, it really did not improve my desire to stay with the campaign or be associated with her. Also, she got into an unstable relationship with another player. I wouldn't mind if they weren't all over each other all the time with little attention to the other players. When their relationship inevitably imploded, the campaign went down with it. I met my current roommates through her game, so it wasn't all for nothing, but I do not intend to go out of my way to spend any sort of time with her. Now, Dungeon Master 2, and this is my current Dungeon Master. He's really cool, and I consider him my friend. I don't have too much of an issue with the way he runs his games, though I have been feeling kind of railroaded recently. He's very thoughtful and generally prepared, and I'm excited to see where it's going. However, I still have some horror stories related to him to share. I don't really fault him for any of this. Nobody's perfect, and he's never made a pattern of being unpleasant. We started the campaign using a different system than Dungeons & Dragons, as we were kind of tired of D&D. None of us had experience with this new system, though. This DM did his best to introduce us to the aspects of the system through the game, but unfortunately, one major aspect of the system is that character death is just extremely common. One player character died session 1. The creator of the character, DM1's ex, reacted poorly right away, panicking and crying as she had put a lot of work into the character. There are ways to revive dead characters in the system, but the DM wouldn't reveal that right away, trying to go for a more immersive route by hinting at what the next step should be. By the time the DM outright told us the answer, she had already left the table, locked herself in her room, even after being reassured her character could be revived. We switched back to D&D after that. The same player as above later dropped out of the DM's campaign, or rather just stopped showing up, said nothing, and hoped we got the message, because the other players removed her boyfriend from a different... Wait a minute, the DM was playing with his at-the-time ex? They had already broken up? I mean, it can definitely work, but on this episode of Keeping Up with the Dungeon Master would be a little dramatic, you know what I mean? Yeah, one of the other players had removed her boyfriend from a different campaign for being a problem player that actively reduced everyone else's enjoyment of said campaign. She has yet to quote-unquote forgive anyone. I doubt she ever will. Somehow, she managed to ignore and hold a grudge against us, her roommates, the rest of the entire year. Oh my god, he was living with his ex. Dude! We do not live with her anymore, and she has caused us all to get charged extra after we moved out because she left a mess behind, and she was the last to leave. We had one session left before we had to enter a hiatus due to summer break. It was the session following a very exciting climax in which a town got very damaged. Our character's task for the session was just to rebuild the town. Interesting enough, at least you'd think. Just a chill hangout, right? We had to individually roll for every axe swing until we felled a tree, multiplied by like 12 trees. The same thing over and over around the table for about an hour. Not exaggerating. See this guy? This guy's favorite part of something like Minecraft isn't the community, isn't the building, it's this. Just mindlessly doing this. Yay! I was timing this crap. I thought I was gonna lose my mind. Nobody spoke up though, including myself. I genuinely don't know if the Dungeon Master didn't really have an idea of what to do for the session and didn't just cancel it for some reason, or if he actually found this interesting. I respect him for trying to figure out how to incorporate stuff like this into the system we were playing, and maybe we were supposed to roleplay during it, which wouldn't make the most sense because we were all busy rolling, but I think the approach really needs work. I'll talk to him about it if it happens again. That's all for now. D&D's a great way to meet people, but sometimes those people aren't the ones you should stick with. So, yeah, your first Dungeon Master, well, she had some major issues. It's good that you recognize that while she was a really talented Dungeon Master, she just wasn't a positive person to be around, and both are important. In fact, the latter one is probably more important. Look, a DM can improve their craft. In fact, just by nature of playing the game, you'll probably get better. But a person who acts crappy, yeah, that might take a while. Even if someone commits to getting better, that's not the kind of thing you just change overnight. DM2's problems seem to be mostly in the game. Like, one boring tree felling session does not damn this man for all eternity. Yeah, it sounds really bad, but how many games has he run where this wasn't a problem? Probably a lot. You should talk to him about this though, no matter what, even if he doesn't do it again. I think it is important to bring up stuff like this just so the DM knows in the future. Be preventative, don't be reactionary. Also, while I highly respect people who can keep a good relationship with their ex, as I have in the past, make sure it's like actually a good relationship and not one that ends in increased housing costs and screaming and crying. Hey, that's a wrap. If you guys enjoyed, you'll probably enjoy the finale of our Dungeons & Dragons Actual Play, The 10th Tomb. The full series is linked in the cards if you want to binge it. But before you go, please do leave a like and subscribe to Crispy's Tavern so you don't miss any of our content as it comes out. And finally, if you want to leave your own stories or thoughts, go in the comments down below. If you can't think of a comment, leave the comment, not metagaming, to let me know you made it to the end of the video. Hey, by the way, if you have your own stories, you can send them directly to us. There's an email down in the description down below. Send your stories our way for a chance to be featured in one of these videos. But hey, even if you don't have any stories, in essence, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Farewell.